Straight in. I appreciate, Stephen, the upset that I've created to your schedule today, and I appreciate you bearing with me.
That's okay, mate. I'm used to being flexible to your schedule, to your career and everything. That's the sort of bloke I am, mate. Very supportive.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Yeah. It's been a day. Good. So when I flew to Melbourne yesterday afternoon, and it's Wednesdays we're recording. People know. I think we're recording on Wednesday. And so, me on a plane, I've discussed this. I sleep like easy. Anyway, I did
on the 1 hour flight to Melbourne, you thought, so you're going to sack out?
I business upgraded the one down on the way down. So I was sitting in like one seat, the first seat. Yeah. And, mate, I sat down and I was asleep before the person sat next to me, right?
Wow.
Because I remember at one point I opened my eyes and there was someone there. Okay, cool. So I'm asleep.
Or were you bunging that on so that I talk to you?
No, I put AirPods in instantly so they don't do that. Anyway, so then...
Yeah, if you sit next to Trevor on a plane, don't talk to him.
Well, you won't be able to because I won't talk to you. Then landing, I'm awake. Yeah. So AirPods away and, I get up. And
what time did you get up yesterday? Were you up at 3 a.m. or something again? Something stupid like that?
Exactly. And this was 4 o'clock in the afternoon flight.
So it was like dinner. It was bedtime for you already.
Yeah, 100%. So I stand up, and I get my bag, and I'm waiting for the door to open. The door opens. Lady opens the door, and then she turns around and she goes, "Oh, you're awake. Do you want a bottle of water or something?" Because she's obviously come through and offered drinks and everything to everyone.
So you were sacked out that heavy
the whole time.
Boom! Wow, mate, that's good.
Like legit whole flight.
It's good.
And
you had your AirPods, so that was sort of cancelling the noise, so you could easily.
Yeah, and I did.
Because I'm going to have to sleep on a plane. I need earplugs.
And I didn't have my phone battery was 20%. So I knew I had to get an Uber from the. I just didn't want to stress it, so I didn't even play music. I just had.
You just had the noise cancellation with nothing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whereas on the way back just now, I slept again. Like from taxi to landing.
Yeah.
No dramas.
You realise if you were on like a footy tour with us, we would have had a bit of fun.
You'd be drawing eyebrows and stuff.
We would have had a lot of fun with you. Yeah.
That's the kind of guy you are.
They were the sort of photos. We would take photos of you and you would have no idea what we were doing.
I did think that as I was, because when I started dozing off in that flight down, there was people were still boarding. Like I was second person on, so 100 people had to walk past me asleep. I did think some arsehole just going to snap a photo of this idiot on asleep.
Travel along for the Today Show, drooling in first class.
Imagine that. Anyway, it was.
I would have taken that photo and shared it.
You 100% would have.
I would have done it.
If you were on the plane, I probably wouldn't have done it. Right. Just for the fear. But let's be clear. If you were on the plane, you would have gone on before me because you would have broken a hammy.
I'm a total gate nerd.
To get there.
I would have beaten you on there by miles.
I didn't realise Qantas, because I don't fly Qantas much, but especially domestic. That was the first domestic flight I've taken since March.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I didn't realise because on the way back, I was just economy and I was boarding group 5. And I looked at it and went, what is going on here?
Your window seat too, weren't you?
Yeah, window seat.
Were you window seat on the way down or not?
No.
Your aisle seat?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I got upgraded, so I didn't get to choose.
Oh, right, okay.
Anyway, so I'm going, this is basically outrageous. What's going on here?
What's this tight
But
seat?
then as we're boarding, I realised, no, what they do is Group 1, let's say, is business class. And
I think they bought it from the back.
Yes. Group 2 might be gold, and then Group 3 is like the back, Group 4 is the middle, Group 5 is
just
the
Just
next.
to make it easier for everyone.
Yes. Yeah. Which is smart. I
Although,
respect that.
I don't mind the Virgin method where you go front and back.
Well, they do that as well.
You go up you got to walk down to the tarmac.
That's the thing. They do this here as well, except it was raining in Melbourne, so they didn't use the back of the plane.
Qantas do that too? Really?
Yeah. Because they've realised it's a smart way to go.
Use front and back door. Use them both. You know what I mean, mate? You know what I'm talking about?
Everyone knows where you
go to the front and the back, mate. No, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
just to make it. Everyone's on faster.
It's convenient.
Happier. Yeah,
like it's the smart boarding move. But it was funny.
Was
because
it a packed flight? Always packed flights.
I don't know. I assume so. Yeah, it's the milk run. It's always busy.
The milk run.
Yeah, the milk run. They call the Sydney to Melbourne the milk run.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the evening one.
Just all of it. All of the
milk run. Yeah. Wonder if my brother-in-law was in the operation.
Anthony, if you were, I didn't hear you because I was asleep.
Yeah, he was asleep before he left the gate.
I didn't hear them announce anyone on the plane, so I don't know.
Yeah. Great.
So, I don't mind domestic flights. It's all right, but I'll take the nap whenever I can.
Of course, mate. Yeah,
whenever I can.
You're an opportunist napster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I learned that from Alan Jones. I think I've told the story when we were in Beijing
One
once.
of those times we went out, we went home with him afterwards? Or?
We were in Beijing the year before the Olympics, and we're doing a 1 week OB.
Yep.
And I remember, traffic's not great in Beijing, and so we were going from the hotel to, I don't know, the tennis centre or something to check it out. And I'm there, and he's on his BlackBerry, he's ringing somewhere, and then I look over and he's asleep. And then 2 minutes later, he's awake. I'm like, he just takes...
He's a micro napper.
He's a napper, like
really?
a micro napper.
Remember that the Seinfeld episode where Kramer used to sleep for 20 minutes every 3 hours? Remember that one, like Leonardo da Vinci?
Oh, yeah.
That's
I came across Seinfeld this morning on like 9 Go, and I left it on. I was like, it's good. Mate, that is a great show. I'm sorry.
It is brilliant. There's a channel.
Timeless
They've
classic.
dedicated a channel to it on Foxtel now, and I've just got it on in the background all the time. And I've seen every episode 5 times already.
But you did say you came across one that you hadn't seen.
I did actually, yeah. There was one I think it's season 9 that I don't think I hadn't seen it before. Can't remember what happened now, but
Which is outrageous
very
for
new.
you.
Yeah, very new. Yeah, probably the only episode I had watched, which is outrageous.
There you go. All right, we highly recommend Seinfeld. 5 stars from the 2 Blokes, and it's time to do this.
Welcome to Two Blokes Talking Tech
Not a bad price.
with Trevor Long from EFTM.com
Really handy device.
and Stephen Fennick from techguide.com.au.
Great to have your company. Episode 710. 710 of Two Blokes Talking.
Pretty sure, is that right? It was 709 last week, so I wrote that in your absence, that pad.
Well, I mean, it
Pretty
was
sure
709 last week.
Last week,
so
yeah, I can count.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
710.
710, thanks to the great people at Netgear and Arlo. We'll tell you more about them shortly. But needless to say, if you need home security, Arlo's got you covered. If you're looking for Wi-Fi at home, especially with that new NBN Speed Boost, get yourself some Netgear Wi-Fi in your life. I know we've talked about it ad nauseum. Many episodes this year have been dedicated to the kids' social media ban. But it's
a big deal.
Less than 2 weeks away from the government's mandated December 10 deadline. And we now know, we talked last week about Roblox's age verification, which is unrelated but still interesting.
Yeah.
And now we know that Meta has begun contacting teen users they believe to be teens. And it was the end of last week, and I've been saying to my kids every day, what's happening? Nothing.
They haven't received anything.
Yesterday.
Oh.
Yesterday
So Meta, so Instagram, Threads, Facebook.
Threads, Facebook.
Yep.
My kids are
and they are on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're right. Facebook's become a real old person's platform, eh? I
It's been that way for a little while.
Yeah, they're not going to kick many people off then, are they?
No. I don't think the Facebook...
Everyone's over 15, over
Facebook
16.
user numbers ain't going to change much in the next 2 months.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
And then Snapchat earlier this week announced they were starting, and that started today, according to my kids anyway. They noticed something today.
And they got notified that it's happening. Yeah,
and I can't tell you what it is, but so Victoria sent me a photo of Snapchat. It says account will be locked on December 10.
Boom.
And so I haven't clicked the buttons because I said don't click anything until I'm with you.
Yeah.
I want to see the process. I want to understand what happens, etc., etc.
Screenshot it.
And it's interesting because Meta said it's really quite simple. If you disagree with our age assessment of you, you can verify your age using a government ID or a facial scan.
Yep.
And so a facial scan is literally look at a phone left or right, just like you're unlocking your phone or creating a face unlock on a smartphone.
Yep.
And Snapchat, though, I'm really interested in theirs. Theirs is, ID, face scan, or a thing called Connect ID. Had you heard of this?
No.
Connect ID is a verification process which is run by I think it's called the Australian Payments Platform or the NPP, but it's the same people that created Pay ID. The mobile phone bank thing.
I
and
have heard of it. Yes, I have heard of it.
Osco, which is the instant payment
instant transfer.
and
yes.
And so, from what I've told, do you remember, mate, it's got to be a year ago, maybe, I told the story of going to visit Michael at Oppo, and in reception there was a guy who was a listener to us.
Yeah.
Tom, I think his name is. Hi, Tom.
G'day, Tom.
And he said, anyway, he sent me a note this week going, hey, you might remember me from the reception at Oppo. He works for these people.
Ah.
And he just showed me, he shared me a video of like a demo of it some time ago on LinkedIn. Anyway, the bottom line is that's a really interesting thing because you've got these people that don't want to hand over a government ID or don't have one.
Yep.
Or are scared about handing over government ID. So does a child, does a 16-year-old, because remember, it's not for verifying you're 14 or 15, because if you don't have a bank account, it doesn't care, you're 14 or 15.
Yep.
But if you're 16, 17, and you're incorrectly labelled as being under 16, you can click this Connect ID button. And what it does, it takes you away and it goes, which bank do you want to verify with? You choose your bank, you click it, and then it kind of opens up your bank app and it says, do you want to share these details? You know when you log in with Google or Facebook, you want to share these details with this platform, and it just shares date of birth.
Right.
Nothing else. So it's not giving them your bank balance or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's
just a long way around. Can't the user just say, so rather than the user sharing their birth date or the government ID?
Yeah, but they don't have a government ID.
Okay, right.
Yeah?
But there's no little error, I suppose.
Also,
you can't just type in the birthday because you've got to confirm your birthday.
That's right. Some people don't want to share their government ID.
Yeah.
So look, I think the Connect ID will be the least used, because I think people will freak out about connecting your bank account to Snapchat. But actually, it's not about connecting your. But this is the problem with
your details that are on record.
This is the problem with the conspiracy theorists online. They'll be like, "Oh, don't connect your bank account. That's outrageous." Now, look, does Snapchat now have a record of how old you are and who you bank with? Yes. Yeah. Because they know which bank. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. But they certainly know you have a bank account. But you've verified your age without having to hand over your government ID, which is everyone's big fear in life.
So to get it clear, the easiest people to kick off the platform are the people that they know are under 16. So day dot will be, okay, we know you're that old, younger than 16, so see you later.
Well, right now,
the people around the fringes are where, that are maybe just turned 16 or they're on the edge. They're the ones who are going to get caught up in the
They're the ones that are going to have to use another form. So, right now, a 17-year-old may be getting this notification that says your account will be locked on December 10. And that 17-year-old's going, what are you talking about? And that's basically Snapchat or Instagram saying everything you do makes you look like a 14-year-old, right?
You know what we need to do? We need to find someone who turns 16 on December 11.
Oh, mate.
That's what we need.
That's the person.
We need that person.
Because
if you know your child is going to turn 16 on December 11 or 12, thereabouts, we want to know.
Because that's the person that's basically going to have to use some other form of verification. Yeah. There's a face scan ain't going to cut it.
If you're 16, right, you don't have a license yet.
Well, you could get
your learner's permit.
A lot of people try and get their learners on day one, but you don't. You know what? You don't. So let's say you do turn 16 on December 11. Let's say you were lucky enough to book an appointment at the RTA or wherever it's called in your state on your birthday, because that's hard too, and you pass the test. You don't even get a license. You get a piece of paper, and your license comes, I don't know, a week and a half later.
Because it's registered online, though.
No, because you don't have it doesn't have a card number or a license. It has a license number, but not a card number.
Well, you've got to wait 3 more days to get your.
But I would say it's a week and a half easy before you get your license in the mail. Because they used to print them on site, now they don't.
And so Meta have said that they're going to start kicking people off on December 4th. So that's nearly a week early.
Which, again, I'm surprised.
And that's just in a week.
I'm surprised we didn't foreshadow that coming. Because think about it. You're a multi-billion-dollar organisation. You're at threat of $50 million fines per user, by the way. So if there's 100 users found to be under 16 with accounts, that's $50 million per user. If that happens, you're in breach, right? So, of course, you probably want to bring in the compliance earlier. Makes sense.
Do you think in the Fair Dinkum department, do you think how many $50 million fines are going to be issued, you reckon?
Look,
is it going to be...
In the first year? No.
Yeah, 0. Yeah.
Because, let's be honest, the platforms are doing their darndest to adhere. Yeah. And you also got to remember the legislation calls for reasonable steps.
Yeah, that's right.
It doesn't...
And that'd be easy to prove, that you're taking reasonable
All
steps.
They have to do is prove that they sent a notification and that they put the person through age verification. Yeah. Now,
because there's nothing on the user or the parent.
No, and I got that question a few times this week.
If they do get in the back way and so still on the platform, the parent or that person is, I'm sorry.
Like, I'm in two minds. I'm like, okay, do I... Because obviously, as a reporter on this, I want to test it,
Yeah, right.
So firstly, I'm like, what if I use my bank to verify Victoria's Snapchat account?
Yeah.
Like...
But it's not in her name, though.
No, but so why can't I change the name of the account to Trevor Long?
I think they might have anticipated that.
Well, let's find out.
They may have anticipated. Okay.
That's what we're going to find out.
Yeah.
Because remember, on Snapchat, that's they've done their best. They've taken reasonable steps.
Oh, that's fair, but I'm just thinking because there is no real punishment for a person or a parent
or the user,
right?
yeah.
Mate, what's to stop? They're going to be trying their darndest to get around it.
There will be a spike
try everything.
in new accounts created on TikTok and Instagram.
VPN purchases as well.
And there'll be a spike in very mature-looking 17 and 18-year-old boys and girls saying, here, for $5, I'll verify your account for you, so I'll do the face scan.
That can't be. There's got to be some way of. That can't be legal to do. Can't be allowed.
You've got to remember the age estimation or age assurance, which is face scan, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't match your face with your account at all. Because you might be a user who's never uploaded content at all.
Yeah.
You might be a user that has a cartoon as a profile
exactly.
pic. So they don't know what you look like, right?
Yep.
There is nothing to say that the person who did the facial scan is the account holder.
So they're not going to want a photo of yourself to compare?
No.
So there's no requirement to do that? You could upload a picture of George Clooney and think, okay,
no, but you're not uploading a picture. You just need a seven. Yeah. You need. So I thought we were talking about like a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And 15-year-old who's got a bit of makeup, bit of growth, like a boy who's went through puberty at 12 and he's now got a half beard going.
Look 18. Yeah.
So stop. A 17-year-old who very clearly looks 17, and he's got a little brother who's 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
And he goes, here, hand it over. You press a button, you hand it over, he does this.
Yeah.
Then it's approved.
But isn't the secondary safeguard the algorithm? Isn't there, say, this 13-year-old's going to be looking at stuff like... But isn't that going to... But Facebook's not just going to stop at that, are they? Are they going to say, well, you passed the face scan, we'll talk to you in a year... They're going to be.
We don't know.
Well, because
so that's why I'm going to do.
Because if they could get caught, because the government could technically say, well, that wasn't one step verification is not enough.
But TikTok will say we took reasonable steps. We took reasonable steps.
Wow.
Now, so let's say I take Harry's account and on Instagram I go, I'll do the face scan, and if it comes back saying I'm 13, it'll be wild, right?
You're the oldest looking 13-year-old we've ever seen.
Yeah, but he's not saying he's 13. He's saying
16,
he's 16,
yeah,
right?
16.
But also, it just comes back and says you're plus 16 or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So let's say that works.
Yep.
And Harry stays on Instagram, right? Your question is, when he keeps looking at stupid memes, how long is it before they go, listen, are you really that person? And then do they match?
What's to stop him ignoring that, though?
They could say, you got 2 weeks to verify your age before we kick you off, right?
Or is that each platform to their own in that regard?
Again, it's reasonable steps.
Yeah, okay.
So
because is that just too much work for the platform, though? Because
the government doesn't care how much work the platform has to do.
I understand, but let's take... I know Facebook's probably not going to be the busiest in this area, and even Instagram. Well, they use Instagram. How many times have we seen where there have been people whose accounts get shut down, and they contact us, and they've got no way of contacting them or anything like that, right? So
yes, but
they don't have like a.
But the legislation requires that the platforms have a solid complaints process,
like a point person.
Yeah, they basically have to have a form that allows kids an appeal. So that's new in terms of customer care. But I guess my problem will be my kids have linked accounts. So my kids' accounts are linked to mine. So therefore, it's probably going to go, wait, I'm confused.
They'll say, thanks, Dad, you gave us up.
You were a teen a week ago. So if I try this face scan thing with me,
you go, mate.
It's gonna say, but you're also linked to a parent. It doesn't make sense. So I'm probably not going to be able to do it.
So you're a better chance of not having a so because you did the right thing having a teen account, right? You've given them up, right? So they're gone.
Correct.
But if the parent that didn't bother doing the teen account
does their child
has a better chance of staying on.
Yes.
Right.
And look, the government will say, just like with alcohol and cigarettes, people do buy them outside their age.
Drink under
and
18,
we never expected this to have a wide-ranging da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But, the fact is, it's... But we're going to have kids on there still.
It's going to be weird because do you think that the teenager who's sort of dodged the system, sidestepped the system, they're not going to want to publicise it too much because they're afraid of getting kicked off.
No, but I think they're not going to publicise it on the platform. They're going to publicise it at school. They're going to be like, I'm still on.
Yeah. But how will it work then when they'll post something and like their friends aren't there to like it, or it's going to be
that's
be a big echo chamber.
That's the reason the ban will in some way work because if 50% of the kids are gone, then you don't have the engagement bait, you don't have the like count and all that sort of stuff working in your favour.
So you're saying it's not really going to be, even if you do manage to get back on, it's not going to be worth being on there. You're going to be kind of by yourself.
Well, I look at it and I go, look.
Unless they're just engaging with content, they're not producing their own.
If Harry's done his homework and he's watched the latest Mr. Beast or whatever, he'll be on his lounge, on the lounge, just scrolling through YouTube or TikTok or whatever it is he's scrolling through, right?
Yeah.
I look at that as being, that's how Harrison gets entertainment in an afternoon, like I used to with Cartoon Connection or whatever the hell was on,
flick
right?
the channels, yeah.
So that's how I view that. And don't judge me as a parent. I don't care what you think. But that's the way I see it. It's the modern cartoon, afternoon cartoons. So how Harry, if he could find a way around the ban and just find, as long as he can watch the content, he doesn't actually need to comment. He doesn't like much. He doesn't comment much. He might like some stuff, but he doesn't comment much. He certainly doesn't upload content.
But did you say
so he won't care if his mates aren't there? One
of his things is YouTube, you said?
Yeah.
So is he able to then just jump on the telly and watch YouTube?
Yeah, but YouTube, watching YouTube on the telly is very different to watching YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, it's hard to it's harder to scroll
YouTube
through.
Shorts is TikTok, right?
It's for mobile devices.
Okay.
Well, then I watch YouTube Shorts on my computer.
Yeah, but on the TV,
it's not so good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I don't think that's there, but I think the bigger question will be when they all realise that even though those two people over there have stayed on the platform, there's 20 of us over here. Mm-hmm. When those 20 go somewhere else, like Discord or create a WhatsApp group or whatever they do, those two over there that are still on social media are going to want to be part of that WhatsApp group. They're going to be there, and so actually the kids will end up together in one or two places
somewhere else. They'll just create what's the maximum people in a WhatsApp group?
It's like 250 or something like that.
Do you reckon they're going to be popping up?
Most teenagers at a young age, like 13, 14, have 200 followers.
So
on
WhatsApp,
on Instagram or something like that.
Yeah.
Unless they're actual trying to be influencers.
Right.
That's an average teen's probably got between 10 and 200 followers and then following. So they just need to create a group of all those people.
Fair enough. I've been, as you have, given this a lot of thought lately, and I've seen and heard from various people, and I'm starting to wonder now. I won't say I'm coming around a bit, right? I won't say that, but I'm just seeing now, because kids now have to think about, well, what are we going to do now? So it's going to actually make them talk to people and read a book or go outside.
I don't think that's
do
the
something
case at all.
different. They're going to do something different. Do you reckon?
No.
And the other thing too, and I've written about this as sort of the psychology of all of the social media and how it can help people feel validated, and people post stuff, right, to get likes and to go viral. And that's got to feel good for them, right? That's like a bit of a dopamine hit, right?
Yeah,
they love that. Is the being banned from the platforms now? It will deny them that. So how's that going to affect their psychology and their well-being? Like the government's objective was for this to improve their well-being and their self-worth. Yeah. Not having that dopamine hit, like we called, of having all these likes and being involved and viral, that's going to have the opposite effect.
Yeah.
So how do you it's sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
There's plenty of youth support groups who came out in opposition to the ban for that reason, because there are kids, and it may be a small percentage, but we have to think about those kids who actually use social media to socialise.
Yeah. There's
kids that are really loners at school and don't like anyone at their school, but they've got a great community of, they might be the ultimate nerd playing Dungeons and Dragons, and, there's no people that play that. But yet on social media, they've got this great little community of people they watch them do.
Even people who live in like remote areas, like country towns, that's their own connection.
When it comes to, are they going to go and kick a footy, as Whipper and Albo would want them to do, right?
Yeah.
No. Like, Harrison is not an active kid in the old school sense that you might have been. I certainly will. I mean, we'd ride around town and whatever.
I was being told
the days of being out until dinner. The days of being out until sunset are gone.
Yep.
There ain't no kids like that, right?
Yeah.
But when Harry's mates have got nothing on, they'll organise to go to each other's place for a pool or go to the park or go to the bush.
Play games.
They'll do stuff. Harry would be like, can I go to the park with Luke? I'm like, mate, go for your life. I don't give a rat's.
Fair enough.
Just make sure you take sunscreen if it's a hot day. They
Wear a
do
hat.
that already, right?
Okay.
Is he going to do that in the afternoon after school? Because that's the kind of, they're the day. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think
he's going to look for something to entertain himself.
The fear is the negative effect this could have on people.
This change.
The fear is that, let's call it, a 15-year-old girl who is just loves Instagram, what that's going to do to her mental health if she can't be amongst it. I think that what's the throwing the baby out with the bathwater sort of thing, where you got to think, okay, we're doing this for everyone, but for these people who they're going to be affected adversely by this decision.
I think you watched the current affairs story that I watched last night. There was a professor or someone called Einstein in the studio with Ali afterwards, and look, I'm not being critical of her at all. I'm just one of the things she said was, parents are going to need to do things like, have a single device in a single place in the home so they can, supervise what the kids are doing. That's always been the advice.
Yeah.
That's not new advice.
I remember when the internet was new.
Exactly.
You used to have a computer in the middle of the room. Yeah.
And don't use it in the bedroom. Those are the rules.
Yeah.
But see, that's...
Well, you still enforce that, don't you?
That's correct.
Jackson's over 18, so he can do what he wants,
He
basically.
But the others, it's like, hang on, if they're up in their room for too long, it's like, hey... You got your phone up there?
That's fair.
And look, they don't get me wrong. Yeah. I know they do it.
Yeah.
But they know full well that if I give them an oi, they're back downstairs with their phone, right?
And two things here. Number one, my biggest criticism is that I feel, and look, my kids are well above the age, right?
Unlikely to be caught up in the ban.
If I had teenage kids, I'd feel a little bit slighted that the government didn't trust me, that the government says, we know better than you for your own children.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about. The other side of it is, well, and we discussed this and we sort of agreed that was sort of a very good point that Annika Wells brought up about the algorithm just sort of sinking its claws into the kids as well.
Just you and I came up with a solution to that, which was just delete the algorithm on a rolling basis so the kids don't have an algorithm at 16.
Have a rating system, all that.
Why isn't the government planning to implement a rating system for content on YouTube blanket?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Do you remember the dramas we've probably mentioned this before. Remember how hard and how long it took to get ratings for games? Remember that?
Yeah.
What a battle that was, and how 12-year-olds could probably go buy Call of Duty and, it's an R-rated game, and because there was no rating system, here you go, son. Now there's a rating system. So I don't know whether it's changed everything.
Why is the internet any different?
Exactly right, yeah. I think, if anything, it should be more urgently like that than not like that.
That's a more important change in my mind than the social media ban. And it goes to the December 27th changes to the search engines, which is that search engines need to show blurred content for adult or dangerous material if the user isn't logged in.
Yeah.
And people are seeing this as another digital ID, taking all that kind of stuff. It doesn't... Listen, it's about protecting kids from seeing stuff they shouldn't see. Now, I get it. The internet's got some pretty crazy stuff on it.
Yeah.
We've all looked at it. But do I want my 14-year-old just looking at it without having to maybe jump through some hoops like we used to have to when we go to the newsagents and maybe try and sly a magazine, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't just be there.
Yeah,
it really shouldn't. And if you're an adult who, frankly, and the legislation in Australia doesn't require Pornhub or anyone to have age verification.
No.
But if you don't think that should be possible and required,
absolutely,
then you are a lunatic parent.
It amazes me that the social media ban is basically trying to control what young people see online. All right. It amazes me that they've only come to this realisation that there's stuff on the internet that we shouldn't be looking at. Now, hello.
And it doesn't stop them looking at that
30
stuff.
30 years we've had the internet.
I think it might have been Bilko, who's a listener, and I do a radio spot with him. I think he said to me something along the lines of, you go to one of those sites and it's just a yes or no answer.
Yeah.
Am I meant to be watching this? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Imagine it was that easy if the newsagent said, should you be buying this? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, son. Here's your change.
But now imagine the 14-year-old Stephen Fennick with access to the internet that we have today.
Oh, God
you wouldn't
help me
leave
if I did,
your bedroom.
Mate. God help me, mate. If I had access to the internet as a teenager, I probably wouldn't have played football. I wouldn't have come out of my bedroom.
But just to be clear, we're talking about what's on the internet, not what's on social media.
Exactly right. Okay. Well, that's the other byproduct, I reckon. People are going to go off social media onto these other sites and think, well, what else can I find out here?
Yeah.
And boom, they'll stumble onto all this stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly,
which is why I'm happy Reddit's involved, because Reddit is part of the ban.
Fair enough.
And there's some pretty clear stuff on there.
Absolutely. Well,
Reddit always needed you to say you were over 18, but now you need to prove
doesn't
it.
Reddit have to? You can only view over 18 content if you have to have an account.
You have an account and say that you're over 18.
Verify,
but again, up until now, you could just say that.
Yeah.
Right? So they're going to have the verification process. So, look.
It's a tricky situation, this one. December 10 is going to be an interesting day.
Yeah, and look, we're going to have to clear the diary for the 2 weeks afterwards to check the impacts.
There's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to be doing about it.
And we'll soon find out what other parents are planning to do to let their kids on. As I said, you're right. I've created a rod for my own bat in that my kids are labelled as teenagers because I linked because I did the right thing.
Thanks, Dad.
I did the right thing.
Well, but that's not fair.
No.
That's unfair that you've gone to the trouble and you've been pretty vigilant. Good luck to you. And not many parents like you, I've got to say. There'll be a lot of parents they're probably thinking, thank God, it's taken it out of their hands. Sorry, darling, it's illegal. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas you were sort of, enforced it and set the rules, and your kids are going to be the first ones kicked off.
Yes.
It's
just the wildest thing.
Yeah, well, it's...
And just to those parents who are saying, good, I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, not always, they're the same parents whose kids are vaping behind their back.
Yeah.
They're the kids that are finding a teenager, someone older than them, to buy the beer and have a beer or whatever it is,
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I've always said, even when my kids were at this age, and the issue back then was, I didn't want my son stumbling across stuff on the internet, right? This was before social media.
Yeah.
I always used to say to people that as a parent, you got to, if my children were playing in front of me at a playground, you'd be supervising them. In the same way, you got to do that in the digital world. If they're online, you've got to have those same rules.
Yeah.
And so, it's come to this point now where the government said, okay, we'll take it from here.
Yeah. Well,
on the social media side. But
as we have said all along, we'd be delighted to be wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely delighted to be wrong. If as we celebrate 20 years, we bow out by admitting that there is a lower bullying, lower teen suicides, all these different things.
Mate. Hey, let's hope. Because I know, I've got my cousin. I know people who've been affected by this,
absolutely,
who've committed suicide because they've been bullied and all that sort of gear. So, hey, if this is the outcome, then happy to be wrong and good on you for doing it, but we'll see.
We just think it could have been done differently and perhaps better without it being a campaign to change, as opposed it should have been a work for change. I think we could have.
Well, look, if it results,
if they'd have called the two blokes, I think we would have come up with some ideas,
maybe,
just to feed into the process.
I think if at the top, at the surface level, right. If it can get someone, someone might decide, I'm going to go out and kick the footy. And turns out they're a really good player, they become a superstar. Or someone might say, I'm going to pick up a musical instrument and learn, and they become a dead set a rock star. If that's the effect of this, then fantastic. If someone can do something creative and constructive, and rather than just doing this on their phone for 4 hours a day, that's a good result.
And you know what? Let me be clear. We've both worked in the media long enough to know that the Daily Telegraph and News Limited who pushed this campaign, and credit to them for creating the campaign and winning it, they will find the stories of kids who are kicking the footy and doing the thing.
Absolutely.
They'll find those stories. Don't get me wrong.
Mate, I don't know if the Herald might be bold enough to do something different, but...
No, they won't be, because the media has been quite united on this.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? It's very hard not to be.
It's hard.
Just like in politics, it was hard to be against. You couldn't say, this is a load of rubbish. You'd look like an idiot if you're a politician.
Yes.
So it had to be it was definitely a bipartisan thing in politics. But in the media side, it could have that same effect where if you seem to be against it, they'll think that you're some kind of bastard.
Yeah. All right, Two Blokes Talking Tech. We've talked about it a lot, but it'll be interesting to see how it actually pans out in the weeks and months ahead.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Two Blokes Talking Tech is supported by our great mates at Arlo. They've got you covered when it comes to your security products, and at time of recording, they do have a Black Friday sales. You can get up to 50% off if you do rush in before December 1. But even after that, they do have a bundle and save section on their website, so you can still save an amount of money after Black Friday. But look, if there's never been a better time to jump in right now, because some of these sales, as we said, up to 50% off. And we're talking about security cameras, wireless doorbells, floodlights, even the new Essential pan and tilt cameras, indoor and outdoor cameras that are at amazing prices. They're already pretty affordable, the Essential cameras. They are now up to 25% off if you want to dive in now. So Arlo's got you covered when it comes to the cameras. There's also security plans you can also take up, so it really does make your cameras work even better with those smart notifications and all those other safety features. So if you're in the market, I think now is a great time of year to be doing it too. So if you're going away for Christmas, you want a bit of added security, a bit of peace of mind, check it all out at arlo.com.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
All right, this is an absolutely groundbreaking week for cross-platform compatibility of features. Google announced that the Google Pixel 10, their latest device, can airdrop a photo or quick share a photo to an Apple device using AirDrop.
Someone ring the newspapers.
What?
So it's only Pixel 10.
Pixel 10.
So if I've got a Samsung Galaxy S24 and I've got an iPhone, my wife's got an iPhone,
can't be done.
Gonski.
But hear me out.
Yeah.
So this quick share exists for Android. You can AirDrop using what they call quick share from Android.
Android to
Android, and obviously you can AirDrop from Apple to Apple.
Yep.
This is a software update. Let's be honest, AirDrop and quick share both just use Wi-Fi and Bluetooth as protocols. There's no reason, once fully tested and robust, this can't be an Android update. There's I see no reason.
Okay.
Now, interestingly, in the Google announcement about this, and I don't have it in front of me, but broadly in the announcement they said, because right now you've got to open up on the iPhone, you've got to set it to receive from everyone for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They said we hope to work with Apple to make it accessible to contacts only and things like that in the future. So that says to me,
I think Apple's going to cooperate here, mate.
says to me they didn't work with Apple on this.
Yeah.
But it also says they're confident that Apple can't patch this. Because there have been apps and things that have been done in the past that allowed for some form of airdropping across platforms, but they were always patched pretty quickly by Apple.
So just the fact, AirDrop is, as we know, an iPhone to iPhone thing.
Or Apple to Apple, iPad to iPhone.
So Apple device to Apple device. And I know people who have purchased, they're normally Android users, but they do a lot of social media and they do a lot of stuff with other people, and they buy an iPhone to be able to get in on the AirDrop.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how big this is. So to be able to have that cross the bridge there and go from iPhone to Android with the, what do you call it, quick share?
Quick share, yes.
Quick share.
I think Samsung might call it nearby share.
Yeah. But Samsung to Samsung, you can already do it. And Android to Android, you can already do it. So it's crossing the channel to
it's a big channel.
Apple. Yeah.
It's a big channel.
But does this go back to the RCS debate as well? Like, is RCS still
that's a telco.
That's a messaging thing.
That's a telco level thing. That's a network level thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just peer to peer.
This is just peer to peer.
But shouldn't the technology just work? Like I know that it's Wi-Fi and it's Bluetooth, which is supposed to be these open platforms.
That's right. But see, you got to remember, so what Apple's doing, I assume, is that, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth is broadcasting like a little coded name or something, right? Google's worked out how to read that name. Yeah. It can see Trevor Long's phone or Stephen Fennick's phone, and they've made it so you can initiate the transfer. What they now need to work out is, can they roll that out across Android, and how far backward compatible does it go on devices, and does it go cross-device non-Google? Because this is Google going, on a Pixel you can do this, right? Which is huge, right?
It's their phone.
There's just, in my mind, there is nothing to stop this being available on other devices.
So you're saying Android, it's an Android device, not just a Pixel device.
Yes, I'm saying it's an Android layer,
Android feature
thing, and that there's no reason why Samsung can't implement it. If it's rolled out as an update to Android 16, for example, there's no reason why Samsung can't adopt it within One UI, and Oppo within Color OS or whatever they call it, right? And the question is, will they do that? I think yes, but really more importantly, I think Google's just waiting to see what Apple does.
What Apple's reaction is.
They'll wait for a couple of iOS updates before they see whether it's been killed.
Like what I know,
Apple would be absolutely hung, drawn, and quartered if they stop this from happening. I think.
Well, we already know, right, that whenever I'm on Android, Joe's an iPhone user, that I tell her, so look, don't text me a photo because it'll dumb it down. It'll look ridiculous. WhatsApp me the photo.
Yeah.
And even now, on whenever she sends me a photo, she just her mind just goes, okay, WhatsApp.
Yeah, good. That's what you want. Yeah.
But so that already exists. That for some reason, and this is of Apple's doing, right? Apple goes, okay, if you receive a photo from an Android phone, we're gonna really compress that photo so it looks like crap. And that's Apple's decision to do that. Could they?
No, hang on, let me be clear. They're not making a decision to compress the photo.
Well, whose decision?
It's the network. It's coming via MMS.
You think so? Okay.
MMS only has a certain amount of bandwidth, it's a certain size, so it's being compressed by the Google phone to fit through the MMS tunnel.
So
and then
iPhone to iPhone is okay
because it's via the internet.
Because it's data. It's not cellular.
You're talking about RCS now.
Yeah. Okay. But it still took Apple though to agree to the RCS. So that for them to be part of RCS, they still had to say, okay, we're in.
Yeah.
Which for a while they weren't.
Correct.
Okay. And so you're now saying that it's the telcos that have to flick it on.
It's always been the telcos that have to turn that on. Because they're assholes. I don't know. They don't want to spend. They're probably going to spend money.
Really?
They've got to spend money.
Oh, my God.
And they're just going, why bother?
Do you think Apple's saying, hey, mate, don't worry about that. Just leave it.
Well, let's be clear. It's Aussie telcos who are dragging the chain here.
Yeah. So in America, it's okay?
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's doing? Vodafone and Telstra and Optus? What's the matter?
So do you think there's
reckon one of the telcos should just jump in and do it?
Oh, for
sure. Or they've all got to do it at the same time?
No. I think.
Imagine if Optus just said, "Well, stuff it. We're doing it right now."
Yeah, we're on. Yeah. I don't think they would win customers. See, this is the problem.
Yeah.
If Vodafone turned on RCS, would people change to Vodafone? No. It's not a winning customer feature.
I reckon it would help them sell a wider variety of phones, mate. Because you think about why people stay on an iPhone, it's because they're in the ecosystem. If they know, I can airdrop a photo from Android, and if I can send it,
we've got to be careful. Airdrop and RCS two very separate things.
I understand, but to a customer, they don't know that. A customer, it's just what happens, and that's what they're thinking. We know how it works, but I'm just saying a customer perspective.
But go back to Apple. Yeah. Do you think that Apple's seeing all these headlines about Pixel devices?
Yeah.
Do you think they're going, we need to patch that?
I hope not.
I think it would be disastrous for them in PR sense.
If they block that, that's basically get up yours to Google and say, no, we're staying.
Which would be remarkable.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anyone who would support that.
Yeah.
Anyone.
I agree. They'd look pretty bad. The headlines would be terrible.
You think of the biggest YouTubers to the biggest websites, just there would be no one that would because all you could argue is that it's a security issue, but it's not. It's a file transfer protocol.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, is it possible? Let's just play it out for a minute. Is it possible, because you can airdrop more than just photos? You can airdrop files.
Yeah.
Is it possible that someone on an Android phone, side loads some sort of file that could damage or infect an iPhone in some way, in a bad way, right?
Yeah.
So is that a reason? So here's what I do if I'm Apple. I make it
limited to photos.
Correct.
Yeah.
Photos and videos only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
Nothing else gets transferred.
Easy.
PDFs.
Yeah. Because it's in a similar way. Like, have you ever tried? Right. Bluetooth's Bluetooth, right? So I could connect any phone with any headphones because it's Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever tried on a Samsung phone or even a Pixel phone to Bluetooth a photo to a Mac?
It's bloody hard.
And it doesn't work, mate. I've tried it.
It's 1,000 steps.
99 out of 100 doesn't work.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why do you reckon that is? That Apple, like if I did that send it to my Asus PC, my laptop.
Yeah.
Boom.
If I had $1 for every file, photo, or video I've sent to Dropbox only to download it when I'm sitting in the same seat on a different device, do you know what I mean? Like upload do you remember when we did the podcast in Berlin? I uploaded from a Pixel phone. I uploaded a video to Dropbox only to download it on my Mac because we couldn't file transfer it. We couldn't even do the Android file transfer with a cable. Yeah, because the file was too big.
And even the app, for me, the app sometimes doesn't work.
I've never had a problem with the app.
The Android file transfer app on my laptop and on my desktop, 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100 doesn't work.
I've never had a problem with it once you go into file transfer mode on the Android device.
Maybe, but it ain't playing for me. So the Bluetooth, well, the fact that I could connect, say, even though AirPods naturally connect really easy, but I could connect, say, JBL earphones to my Mac.
Yeah.
Because it's Bluetooth.
No problems at all.
But sending from a Samsung phone a picture, not a file, a photo. No.
I bet you Apple would claim it's a security reason. Protocol.
Give me the option of saying, no, that's fine, that's me. It's like when you log in, was that you? Yeah, it's me. Let me in. Like for some reason now, my Commonwealth Bank, whenever I log in, I've got to approve the login on my app.
Two-factor, yeah.
Brand new. It's my two-factor was when I log into a new device, but now it's every single time I log in. Yeah. Anyway, it's interesting how. I'd love to, if you were, how you can read lines of code, and if you're an engineer of that level, you can sort of look in and say, well, hang on, why is that there?
Why is that there?
Why does that say that?
Well, that's why I respect the Android engineers who found this and got it. That's all we got to do is this, and it'll work. Dude. And they would be sitting there going, that on every iOS update, they'd have the developer betas, they'd be going, will this break it? Will this break it? Will this one break
Test it, yeah, right.
Because it would be unbelievable if Apple broke it.
Equality in smartphones.
Otherwise,
have we got it?
And look, let's just round it out by saying this. If they roll this out as an Android level update, which then gets updated through One UI and all the others, does that impact Apple in any way, shape or form? No.
I don't think
Not a single person is going to go, now I can buy an Android phone.
No, not at all. Exactly right.
No one's going from an iPhone to an Android phone so that they can airdrop back to iPhones.
Absolutely right. You're exactly right. And I think for those,
it's the same as it's the same as RCS.
Yeah,
its implementation does not sell a phone either one way or the other.
Although
it simply makes customers happy.
I can remember that. There was a period, I wrote the story on Tech Guide where there was, Google had a real campaign to Apple to allow RCS before they did. And I remember even Tim Cook was in an interview and said, look, because of you, like my mother can't email me, it's really hard for her to send me photos. And Tim Cook's response was, well, buy her an iPhone. Remember that? Like, I think, come on, mate. So is it about the bottom line all the time, or like Apple's phones sell themselves because they're good phones and people love them.
I think back in the day, features like AirDrop and iMessage were standout features, reasons to buy.
Yeah, but no, just to further that point though, there were times there where there were if you're in a group chat at school and who's the green bubble, it was almost like being 100%. Bullied. It was like being green, like shamed on your Android shamed.
And that's why the telcos need to do RCS together because mate, even if Vodafone did it, you don't know who the other person's with, so you don't know that it's going to work.
Oh, right. So they've all got to do it, so it's all
it just works.
Cross-network. Right. So it's one in, all in, eh? Like, you got to do it. Oh, damn.
Otherwise, you're going to end up with a group chat with one or two green bubbles remaining and 6 green bubbles excluded because they're with Optus or Telstra.
Well, should the two blokes start a social media ban style campaign for RCS in Australia?
I'm pretty sick of writing about it.
Wow.
It's just,
Get on board, guys.
Get on board.
Get on board.
What's that song?
I don't know. You're just singing a random song.
No, it's an ad.
I don't know.
Get on board. Get on board. I don't know what it's for, though.
I think I know what you're trying to sing, but it is an ad. It's an ad, yeah.
It's not the reading, writing hotline.
It'll come to me.
It's something like that. All right, two blokes talking AirDrop by Google Pixel 10.
Everything about tech you never wanted to know.
Grab your back.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
Righto. We need props for this one.
Yeah, you've gone for props. Jesus.
Yeah, because we're visual now.
We're not doing top down because I haven't turned it on.
No, top down. Don't worry about top down. But these portable batteries, which everyone's got, the what do you call them? Power bank? I'll call them portable batteries, power banks. These are now, and just there's a bit of confusion around it. You can't use them aboard an aircraft from December 1 on Virgin, December 15 on Qantas. You will not be allowed to use this. You'll be able to have it on your person, in your pocket, in your hand.
In the seat pocket.
Seat pocket. You can't have it in the overhead.
No.
As long as you are not connecting it to charge another device. So you can have that on a plane, you just can't connect it and charge your mobile device on the plane.
Yeah.
Am I reading that right?
That's pretty much it. You can have maximum of 2 of them each.
So max of 2. And
which, by the way, it might not be a problem for you, but if I was, the Formula 1 thing I did today, if it was Stig and I and we took our gear to do the way we shoot, I couldn't go. I take 3 batteries for lights.
Oh,
I can't take 3.
right.
Got to take 2.
Okay.
Like, and now, like, a 1 hour flight, your phone's fine, you won't need charge. Cool, whatever. But if you go to Perth and your phone's on 30% when you get in, it's like, I'm going to need to charge my phone at some point. Yeah, okay, so plug it into the seat. Not
Yeah.
all planes have that.
Yeah, that's true. That was my next
Like,
point. Was that
there's a-
most modern planes
Yes, but
have
think
it?
about the Qantas fleet. Like,
Yeah.
the plane I was on today, I didn't look, but it was old.
Right.
Like, the fit out was old.
Even your first class seat?
No, well, no, that fit out was pretty old too.
Did you have a place to plug your phone in?
I was asleep, I don't know. But there are definitely a percentage of planes that do not have USB power.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or it doesn't work all the time. And so you're stuck on a plane and your phone's going flat, or you're watching the latest series of whatever, and your tablet's
You
going
need to
drained
charge it up.
on a 5-hour flight to Perth, or God forbid on a Qantas flight internationally, which would be a nightmare because there's no Wi-Fi either because they're such a weird airline. But
Yeah.
you want to charge your tablet, there has to be power in the seat.
Yeah. So this applies not just to domestic flights for
All
Virgin,
Qantas flights.
all Qantas flights, all Virgin flights. So whether you go
Virgin
Sydney
only
to
fly-
Melbourne or Sydney to LA.
Well, Virgin
Or
doesn't
where-
fly to anywhere.
Okay, but
only about domestically. but yes.
Qantas. So from
Correct.
Sydney to wherever else you're going,
Yep.
no battery usage. You can have it with you.
Yep.
Look at this big puppy here. Is this a 27,000 million?
No, it's only 20, I reckon.
20. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the maximum you can take?
So
on
I look,
board?
it's really annoying. The rules are like it's a different measurement. We're talking milliamp hours. Like I can
Yeah.
tell you, by looking at that's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery,
Yep.
right? The rule it's another measure called watt hours or something, and there's a calculation. It's milliamp hours versus voltage allows you to. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But I checked, right? So I checked that battery there, which is 20. Like that is not even half the allowed size. And my
You can
camera
go
batteries
full
are pretty
to
big.
27,000. if you
I'm
want to.
pretty sure you're fine with pretty much all power banks
Yeah.
that are around today.
Okay.
But you're going to get pulled up at security anyway because they check them all. They're pains
Well,
in the arse.
you're not allowed to have them in your checked luggage for a start, right? You've
No.
got to have them in your carry-on.
But that's always been the case.
That's always been the case. But
And the
Yeah.
rules about, so you're right, you can't, they don't want it in your carry-on in the
In your
overhead locker,
overhead,
but there is
yeah.
a line that says, or in the overhead locker nearest you if that's the only option kind of thing. So basically if you're in an emergency row, you don't have a seat pocket,
Yeah.
like you're in the bulkhead. Like if you're in row 1,
Yep.
there's no seat pocket or that kind of stuff, you might
got to
have
hold
to
it.
put it.
It's got to be like this.
Like, how embarrassing.
Hold it in your hand.
And also, how are they going to check that?
Yeah, I know. It's going to be hard to enforce. Are they going to go along and check every single bag in the overhead locker for
No, they
batteries?
can't. That's ridiculous.
It's an honour system.
The only thing you could do, and this will never happen, is you get the security you go through, you put your bags through, and these days,
Yeah.
in fact, all Australian airports now have the new ones. You don't need to take anything out. They could easily, because they can see what's
They
in
can
there.
tag you as
They
having
could
a
say
battery.
they could give you a blue tag if you got no batteries, a red tag if you got
Yeah.
2 batteries, and a green tag if you got 1.
Right, so
Theoretically,
Trevor Long's got 5. Make sure he takes them all out.
yes,
Yeah.
and you can't have 5.
Yeah.
You got to have 2.
Yeah, there you go.
So theoretically, security could play a role, but there's no way they will because
Yeah.
the security and the
look-
airlines are not linked.
I can understand why they're doing this. Like the likelihood of something like this happening is really, really small. But I think the airlines want to have that. They don't want it to be like 1,000,000 to 1 shot. They want it to be 0 possibility is what they want.
And well, when this started, I thought, okay, so I'm going to talk about this on the radio. What's my position on this? That's what you've always got to quickly think about something like that. And I went, you know what? I spent 14 days inside a tin tube in the air this year. I don't want a single risk.
Yeah.
And I've seen videos. I've seen photos of smoke. I've seen it happen. There's
Air
I
China
don't
had
remember,
a bad one.
I don't remember which airline it was, but they were on the ground or they landed in time. But the fuselage is gone.
That was the
It burnt
Busan.
out.
That was
Busan.
South Korea.
It's
Yeah.
like, let's be real. That plane was destroyed.
there were 27 people injured.
That plane was destroyed.
Yes, it was. The
So-
Air China one in the overhead locker was pretty dramatic, but they contained it pretty smartly.
Because what I said was, look, if this little battery here, like if it started to smoke right now, if it was like just fizzing, like, and you're going to know, by the way, it's going to bulge, it's going to be
It'll
obvious
swell
anyway.
first, yeah.
But if this started fizzing and smoking, what would we do right now?
Take it
I'd
outside.
go run and I'd just throw it out the front and I'd just throw it onto the cement and just, then I'd deal with it, right?
Yep.
If you're at home, if this one here started doing, I would throw it through the glass window if it was that urgent to get it out
so
of the
it doesn't
house.
explode, yeah.
Can't do that on a plane.
Yeah.
You're stuck.
Well, you can, but there'll be all kinds of dramas.
That's another whole set of issues.
Yeah.
So
Do you reckon the airlines have a special, like a fireproof bag or something to do something like that? Well, do you reckon they'll carry them now?
It's a good point. I
Yeah,
don't know.
because you can buy them. I've got them at home. I've got fireproof like document holders,
Right.
but I've put my top 10 Phantoms in a fireproof document holder. My brother sells them on Amazon, right? So you can do that. So I wonder whether the airlines would have something like that, like instead of a fire extinguisher, they'd have a fire extinguisher, but say a battery's smoking, they can just put it in a pack in a bag.
I mean, it's funny when I went out to Mobile Muster, the place they pull apart mobiles when they're recycled, right? We were doing a TV store, and when I was pulling it, I gave it a crack, pull it apart. I pierced the battery, and on the floor they've got like a sand pit. You just throw it in the sand. So they just put it. I ruined it.
Wow.
And they didn't freak out, but they were like, now throw it in the sand, please, because that's what we do with them when that happens. So yeah, maybe they do need something.
Have a little sandbag.
Yeah.
On the plane.
But the responsibility you're putting upon the flight staff is pretty extreme. But basically, so I had this on the way to Europe for Berlin in Qatar. They said this, that you could only have them if they're in your hand and use them. It was like we recommend, and Qantas even today said we recommend, but that's obviously going to change.
Yeah.
It's going to be as annoying as the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 announcements.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because people think about Chris and the team at Laser. They've created power banks now that have
the LiPo.
a safe chemical.
Yes.
But it's not like the airlines can say if it's lithium ion you can't bring it, but if it's LiPo, it has to be one in all in until we get rid of lithium ion.
Unless they see that this is a lot safer than the other one and specify, give people time.
Maybe.
Because I think it's going to inconvenience a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's going to inconvenience people who that's their entertainment on the flight, right? So there are some airlines that offer Wi-Fi, and that uses your battery up a bit too. Yeah. You're streaming something, or Qantas let you stream from their own service.
Stig
right?
is going to lose his mind because he is a fiend for his phone.
Yeah,
like he'll
be smashing it.
If he's awake, he's reading the. He's always on Wi-Fi, and he holds a battery in his phone and a little cable, because he's just always using his battery.
How does it apply for MagSafe batteries? Is it all batteries?
It's all batteries.
Like imagine if you say I got my 17 Pro Max here, and I got a little shifty little
hideous case.
It's not the Star Wars one.
It's
the plain
so
one.
big.
Anyway, but it's got the
so chunky.
The case to fire. Look, it's got a little stand.
That stand is so chunky.
Oh, good, mate. Anyway, don't case shame me. What I'm trying to say is that imagine if I had a little shifty little MagSafe battery there, and could I get away with that? You're thinking, hello,
Mate,
it's just there.
As I said,
the air.
How do they check it?
Exactly, yeah. They're going to have to eyeball. I've got to eyeball your phone.
When they walk down the aisle and go, "Has everyone got
checking
their
your
seatbelts on?" They're going to be looking.
And they'll be checking to see if you're holding your battery. You'll go,
yeah,
here it is. Here it will be. Trevor will be like this. Here they are, all here.
They'll be like, you have to check one. No, you can't throw it out.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, what happens? You can't check it. And you can't dispose of it.
I'll
what
just
do you do?
I'll just go.
Give it to someone else.
No, it's his. Exactly. It's his.
Give it to him.
Yeah. Give it to the bloke.
Imagine that you get into your airlines just as Trevor in his next flight. He goes, "Excuse me, do you reckon you can hold one of my batteries? Can you just hold that one? Excuse me, can you just hold that one for me?
Yeah, just hand him down the aisle.
That's going to be pass him up now, right?
What about you're a salesman for Belkin? And you're going to a JB Hi-Fi
you got 10 of
in
them.
Melbourne for a conference, and you got your latest 10 batteries.
Yeah. Well,
there's going to be a rush on mate, I'm telling you,
they're going to drive.
TV cameramen, people like this are going to have to get letters from I don't know who's authorising, but they're going to have to get letters that authorise them to bring more batteries.
Wow,
it's going to be a nightmare.
Interesting times.
All to come. Two Blokes Talking Tech.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech.
And we do it thanks to the great people at Netgear. You can find all the details of Netgear's products at netgear.com.au. They are the supporter of your home internet because you paid for this fantastic home internet, 500 megabits per second. You've just suddenly got. You've got 500 megabits per second if 2 months ago you had 100. You've just got it. No extra costs, no change. You've got 500 megabit speeds. But if you actually go to the trouble of downloading speed tests and checking, go and stand near the TV. Go and stand in the back room. Go and stand in the bedroom. Go and stand everywhere in the house and check what the speeds are. Are you getting 500 everywhere? Probably not. It's because you don't have a great mesh Wi-Fi system like the Netgear Orbi. An Orbi plugs into, the router plugs into your existing NBN connection or your existing modem if you like, and the satellites just need a power point somewhere in the home. Put them strategically throughout your home, create a dome of Wi-Fi over your whole home so that you're getting the speed you're paying for everywhere. And it's exciting. It's so exciting to get those speeds everywhere because you notice an uptick in how quickly a video or a show is going to load on Netflix and Stan and places like that. You notice it's just all snappier performance across your devices because you've got the speed you're paying for. So if you're paying for great speeds, you should have great speeds. Netgear have got you covered. You can find out more at netgear.com.au.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.
Well, at the time of publication, it's Black Friday tomorrow.
It's been Black Friday. How many people said to you, when's Black Friday?
Yeah, most people. I said
thought
this
it was a month ago.
Danica the other day. I said something about Black Friday. She goes, "Wasn't Black Friday last week?" I went, "No, it's this week."
It's Black
Actual
it's
Black Friday is the Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, which for Australians means nothing, but it's the last Thursday of the month, I believe.
It's
last Thursday of November.
So which is tomorrow.
That's right.
So happy Thanksgiving
today when you
our many US viewers and listeners. Happy Thanksgiving. How many people?
I was just giving the crickets for the US viewers. So it's the day after Thanksgiving because people would be away on holidays. They wouldn't go to retail, and retailers wanted to create a reason why they should come into store.
And it became the official kickoff to the holiday shopping period.
That's right. And Australian retailers have gone, well, we want to go.
Get on that. Yeah.
We want to go before them, and they want to go before us, and then it ends up being.
Mate, it'll start in July next year.
Yeah, it'll be black.
It'll be crazy.
It'll be black a year.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
It is wild.
Yeah.
But. That being said,
some good specials to be had though.
For sure. We talked about. Did we talk about it last week?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. There's definitely some cracking deals and things out there.
I think though we need to talk about staying safe though.
Yes.
There's a lot of cyber criminals out there who are doing some pretty nefarious things. I learned about one. Have you heard about this? Where they call it auto skimming or something, where they can actually hack as you're paying on the cart wherever you happen to be. They can sort of, like on an ATM, they do a skimmer when you're about to get your money and the money goes here and you think, how they used to put those appliances on the thing?
Yes.
So imagine doing that digitally.
How?
So, they sort of get into the cart where you're buying your items and they can hijack the payment as you're making it in the cart.
Hack the website?
Well, it must be something they've got on the site, and there's a story of it's increased by in the last 6 months by 700%. This thing, it's in my story on Tech Guide about the Norton and the younger people taking the risky shopping habits. It's all about because they know cyber criminals are shrewd, right? They know how many people are going to be shopping online. There's going to be millions of people. Well, let's get at it. Let's get after them.
Well, the data that we published at EFTM was from Trend Micro, and interestingly, absolutely no shock that delivery scams was the biggest issue. 68% of people had reported seeing fraudulent emails and texts about items they'd ordered. 59% of people say that scammers strike most likely on Facebook. But the numbers of people who've been exposed to these things. Yeah. That's the challenge for me. Is people know it's happening, but I think people do push those boundaries. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
Norton's uncovering that people are just pushing the boundaries because they want the deal.
Oh, that looks good. I'm going to click on that.
Yeah.
But what I was saying before, it's web skimming. So where cyber criminals inject code into online checkouts to steal payment details at time of purchase. So if you're using your credit card, they can hijack that information at time of purchase.
Right.
So and that's surged by 721%.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
It's a risky time to be shopping.
Yeah, so just make sure that because how easy is it for a cyber criminal to use AI just to make a site and so make it look like that, and then it looks like that.
Well, mate, you can just duplicate a site these days with a couple of commands, and that's phishing. The phishing is creating a site that looks identical.
Yeah,
and that's the other big one.
They've got to get you there, but they've got to get you there.
The other big one for me is just the social media advertising for a product that isn't real.
Yeah,
Well,
I've got.
It looks amazing. Looks amazing, but it's not. It's a fake product.
I've got stats about that too, right? The social media side of things. There are more people now who are clicking through, and 31% of them admit they ended up on a suspicious-looking website. What's a third of people on the platforms thinking this looks a bit dodgy, and they were led there by social media
because. You see it out on social media, you click it, and what the biggest challenge is You open up into a browser where you didn't type the URL.
Yeah.
You often don't even see the URL.
That's right, yeah.
So you don't know what the URL of this site is. And I think, I don't know if it's gone to where, but anyway, Current Affair were doing a story. Yeah, it did. It was last week about Black Friday and the number of sites that, like, it's like Aussie Deal, or, it says Aussie something, or Mates Rates, or whatever. And it's just a Chinese bloody website that's selling you rubbish that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
They're trying to dupe you into thinking you're buying locally and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a huge risk, which is frankly why I think if you're going to shop Black Friday, Amazon.com.au, Kogan.com, JB Hi-Fi, keep it simple.
Harvey's, all of them.
Don't shop at Harvey's.
Good guys.
Okay.
Don't. Okay. Each to their own, mate. But you
get a
know
better
what
deal.
we're getting at.
Yeah.
Go to the sites. Reputable.
Go to the sites.
Reputable.
And the great
sites.
news is Black Friday's tomorrow, but it's going to last, because then Cyber Monday is Monday.
Yeah.
So the Black Friday sales.
And then it's Cyber Monday, and then it's what is it? Internet Tuesday, and Wacky Wednesday.
I was going to say Wacky Wednesday.
Yeah,
Thrifty Thursday.
Yeah.
And Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday. There you go. That's us. That's our week.
We can do marketing. That's next week.
That's next week.
Can't wait to see you on Freaky Friday next week.
Friday. Woo.
Anyway, stay safe online is what we're saying. People, just stay safe out there.
Sure. You got it. If you don't, you know what? It's very hard to get to, they've got your money, but the worst case scenario is if they get your identity. If they get enough information and they can, that's hard to undo that knot.
Yeah.
If you get your identity stolen, it takes a little bit of nous to get that back again. I know Norton offer, they've got sort of, it's like an insurance sort of thing. They do offer that support if you do, because where do you start? Like, how do you know what to do?
Yeah, exactly.
So you need help there. I suppose Trend would have the same sort of thing going.
The thing, Stephen's advertisers, Norton's a great advertiser with Stephen, Trend's a great, but the thing is, McAfee, Norton, Trend, Kaspersky
is also on Tech Guide now,
There aren't a lot of reputable antivirus internet security software companies, right? All we're saying is, if you don't have one, you're mad.
You're asking for trouble.
And it shouldn't just be on your computer. It should be on your mobile.
Yeah.
It should be on your tablet.
You get several licenses. Don't forget, people think, I get asked, and I've said this before, I get asked, what's a good free internet security software? I said, no such thing.
What's a good free car insurance?
Yeah, no such thing. Pay for it, because you get a good one. Kaspersky, Trend, Norton, McAfee, Bitdefender, they're all good.
It's the same as...
and you get licenses. So you get one for your computer, one for your desktop, laptop,
I need someone to give
phone.
me free technical support. How many free plumbers are there?
Exactly right.
If your toilet is gushing excrement in your bathroom, you will call for and pay a plumber.
Exactly
If things
right.
have gone wrong with your internet and your laptop and your device and your security, call Geeks to you. Like, you've got to pay for these things.
Yeah, exactly right. You got to do it.
Happy Black Friday, everyone. Hope you find a great deal. And
stay safe, though.
Stay safe out there, folks. Yeah. Okay? If it's not on, it's not on.
Wow.
Trend should have come up, or Norton should have come up.
If it's not on, it's not on.
They should have a big switch that says, secure. If it's not on, it's not on.
It's not on. That's a
if you don't know what we're talking about, you're not old enough to remember that.
You're a bit younger than we are.
Yeah. When was that?
Trevor never discovered that till he was in his 20s anyway. So
that's absolutely that's a fact. That's a fact.
He was late to the party, Trev.
That's all right.
Yeah,
it all works. Okay, back to you. See you next week, Stephen.
See you, buddy.
This is Two Blokes Talking Tech with Trevor Long and Stephen Fennick.